And there's just the thing about hunting, and I think that most of us would agree, we could go buy meat from the grocery store. If we're truly consumers of what we hunt, then there's no better way to do it, and it's an honest way to do it because you handled everything. You cut out the middleman at the supermarket. There's no, you did the killing, you did the butchering, and you're gonna eat this animal. And I think a lot of folks who don't hunt sometimes miss the fact that something had to die to go on that plate. And I love the fact that there's this new movement like field to table or farm to table because people
Right.
are understanding where it comes from. And we as hunters, we owe it to the animal to do it right. And there's no reason to not eat good. If you're gonna have a freezer full of venison, then turn it into something fun. Something good to eat.
Yeah, that's definitely what you want to do. And um, it's just there for a while. It's like I hadn't had beef in a long time, and first time I had some beef, it's like, ooh, what's wrong with this? Tastes weird.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, it's beef.
it's
Okay.
beef.
It's
Yeah.
just that complete different weird taste.
Yeah, my kids were like that when they were little. My daughter would not eat. We would go out to a restaurant, and I'd have to lie to her, fib to her, and say, "Hey, this is elk," and she would eat it, but she would you could tell she knew the difference because
Yeah.
when they were growing up, we rarely bought any meat. It was mainly stuff that I'd hunted, and yeah, my daughter, I think we were someplace, and she looked at me one time and said, "Dad, this is not elk. This is beef." Like, oh, is it? She finally called me on my bluff that I had there, but
She caught on.
yeah, she caught on after a while. That's for sure.
He actually go home and it's like have some real elk or something and then go back. It's like, no, this isn't the same meat.
Yeah, she went to college, and she came back home from college, and I think it was either her first or second time back, and I had cooked this big spread, and because she'd been gone to college, and she came in and just we ate like kings that night, and she says, "Dad, this what they're serving me at college is just not like this." And I'm like, "Well, don't get used to it. You got to go to college. You can't be staying here the whole time. When you get done with college, and you can come back and eat all you want." But it makes them appreciate it. I think it really, when you do that, when you have a kid, when your kids eat venison, and your kids know where they, even though I'd say neither child is as obsessed with hunting like I was and I am, they still have an appreciation for it, and I think that's an important thing.
They're later on they might come back and say, you know
Yeah,
what, I want to start hunting. And I've talked to a lot of guys that they hunted and then had a family, and then now the family's grown up a little bit more and they're back hunting and with their kids now.
yeah, that's
And
great.
they just had to take some time off, and we all have to take some time off
Yeah, I
sometimes,
I
and
had to. I
for
mean,
one reason or
graduate
another.
school. Yeah, I mean, I can remember, graduate school, going from 3 or 4 deer a year to during grad school, just saying, if I get to go out once or twice, I'm going to get lucky. And there are things that happen that you just have to do. You take care of your family, and hunting is a privilege when you think about it. We're very fortunate in this country. I've got friends in Europe, and they really look at our situation here and are envious because we get to hunt, and a lot of those European countries, they don't get to bow hunt anyway. And so it's a privilege. And when you get, but job number one is take care of your family. And it gets to a point where I notice now that my children are older, I've got a lot more free time to hunt, and I get to experience more now, almost like I was before we had children. So it's great to see. It's great to see people come back to it when they've been away.